Hey everybody, it's MommaOG. I am back with another reaction. Today I am circling back around to Yes. It's been a little while. The next song on my list is Wondrous Stories. Now, I might be misremembering, but I believe that I added this to the top of my list recently based on some comments that I got from my other reactions. I had a few people suggest that I do this song soon. Don't know why, but we will see. The next one on my list truly was And You and I, which I plan on doing right after this one. If you would like to make a request for something for me to react to, you can do so by clicking a donation link down in the description. Send along the information of the song you would like me to hear, and I will add it to my queue. I also take notes during my reactions, so you may see me looking down. I'm just jotting down a word or two so that I don't forget what I want to talk about. I've got the lyrics pulled up since this is just audio, so I'm going to go ahead and follow along as we go. I've got my earbuds in. Let's go ahead and take a listen. That was a quick one. I got a little emotional at the end there because today's the 31st of March, and just on the 27th was the 2-year anniversary, if you want to call it that my dad died. And just this line, "Return to hear your wondrous stories," it just instantly made me think of him. I've sat and thought many times, God, what I would give to listen to some of your stories from Vietnam and from your childhood, and even some of your dumb, bad jokes. My dad thought he was the funniest guy on the planet, and sometimes he was. So yeah, that got me there a little bit at the end. This one felt quite different from some of the stuff I've done thus far. Pretty much everything I've listened to on this channel from them has been incredibly complex. It usually had my brain hurting by the end of the song. This was different. This was, I wrote down gentle and calming, which I don't think I've ever used those words in any of my yes reactions so far. The melody seemed to be simple, but it's emotionally, it was rich, especially when my dad part hit me. Just thinking back on being, wishing I could hear him tell some of the stories that I've heard hundreds of times. If only I could hear that again. But this was almost like it could have been a lullaby of sorts. His vocals were soft and gentle, and the whole song just felt kind of light and airy. But it did have this emotion throughout. I don't even know if I'm making any sense. I did get a little bit of the taste of complexity there with that amazing guitar at the end. That was perfectly placed as well. I was thinking, oh yeah, this song is a little bit different than what I'm used to. And then I get just a touch of that at the very end, and that was beautiful. The lyrics were interesting. Some stuff like jumped out at me for sure. Love laid me down by the river, drifting, I turned on upstream. So he's going upstream, and then he's bound for his forgiver, which I don't know if he's talking about like a higher spiritual power or like a human of some sort. This also does have a little bit of a spiritual vibe if you attribute that to God. This part here stood out to me. I beg to leave to hear your wondrous stories. Like, why do you have to leave? I mean, I could relate this to my dad. He's gone. So to hear his wondrous stories, I too would have to be gone. Maybe, if that's how it works, which I'm not even sure it does. But it also could relate to a relationship with God. I beg to get to heaven so I can hear your stories. Then it goes further into he spoke, and I'm assuming that this is the forgiver. He spoke of lands not far, nor lands they were in his mind, which is kind of got my brain hurting a little bit on what exactly that means. I am sure that you guys will fill me in on the actual meaning of this song, what its intentions were. Yeah, here's another part that maybe makes me think it's spiritual. In no time at all, he took me to the gate, which, I think of Heaven's Gate. In haste, I quickly checked the time. Like, is this really my time to go in? If I was late, I had to leave to hear your wondrous stories. Huh. Yeah, I'm leaning more towards a spiritual vibe behind this song. But I'm not even sure, because I don't know if Yes expressed spiritual meanings in their songs. I don't know anything about their beliefs or anything like that, so I'm just completely guessing. But that's what it felt like. This was a different one, and calming and Didn't make my head hurt as bad. And when I say my head hurts from listening to their music, it's not a bad thing. There's just usually so much going on, both musically and lyrically, and then in his voice. So it's a lot to process when you're first sitting down to listen to a song for the first time. This was a lot easier as far as Yes is concerned, in my experience. Thank you all so much for being here to share this with me. I will see you next time.